The Premier League is back, and will it ever end? I'm convinced there's been a Premier League match every 2 or 3 days for the last 4 weeks. That means these prediction videos are coming out every 3 or 4 days, and it eventually gets repetitive. If you're a consistent viewer of the channel, you'll just continually hear about how bad Chelsea are, and that's probably not going to stop for a long time. And if you aren't a consistent viewer of the channel, what are you doing? Subscribe. We've recently hit 5,000 subscribers, by the way. Thank you all so much for that. Make sure to leave a like on the video. Let's try to get 15 likes, and let's get into my prediction. Bournemouth versus Chelsea. You remember Thomas Tuchel, the guy that used to manage Chelsea? He won the Champions League. It feels like years ago since he was their manager, but it was this season. In his short time at Chelsea this season, he picked up a total of 10 points. Had he not been there, Chelsea would be in the relegation zone. I've seen people say Frank Lampard should be sacked, but realistically, I think we're at the stage where you just have to say it's the players. Individually, there's a lot of good players at Chelsea, but altogether, it's just not working. You spend so much money. Why isn't there a striker there? Aubameyang played versus Arsenal. I genuinely, and I'm being 100% serious, I could have done a better job. You could have done a better job. The guy only touched the ball 5 times in the game, and 4 of them were for a kickoff. This game has 1-0 Bournemouth written all over it, as Bournemouth pick up another crucial points, which at this stage sees them stay in the Premier League. Man City versus Leeds. Sam Allardyce is back in the Premier League. He's taken over at Leeds, and since arriving, he's said some things that, well, I don't think many people would agree with. He's claimed he's better than Klopp, Arteta, and Pep Guardiola. And to be fair to Big Sam, you do have to ask yourself, is keeping a team up in the Premier League the same thing as winning the Premier League? No, it's not. Maybe in his old age it's just driven him crazy. That is probably the most logical answer. Manchester City are going to win this game 3-0 thanks to 2 goals from Erling Haaland, his 36th and 37th of the season, and 1 from Ilkay Gundogan. Wolves versus Aston Villa, a Midlands derby. Aston Villa have been absolutely brilliant in recent weeks under Unai Emery, but form often goes out the window when it comes to derbies. Regular viewers of the channel will know I'm not a man who likes to decide with logic. I'm someone who looks at the fixture and straight away the first scoreline that pops in my head is my prediction. And this game, when I saw it, screams of a John McGinn and Ruben Neves goal, and this game ends in a 1-1 draw. Tottenham versus Crystal Palace. Their Liverpool versus Tottenham game was only about 5 days ago, and for me it feels like it was weeks ago because Liverpool have played again, so for me it's an extra match week. Nothing about football, I'm just losing all track of time. I'm completely going insane. Please help me. You know, also need to help Tottenham's defence because Liverpool only had to try for 15 minutes and they were already 3-0 up. Spurs eventually got the game back on level terms. Liverpool had to try for 90 seconds and then scored again. Spurs were absolutely terrible. Crystal Palace are doing alright under Roy Hodgson, so I fancy Crystal Palace to get a 2-1 win out of this game thanks to goals from Zaha and Elise. Liverpool versus Brentford. Liverpool will win every single game for the rest of the season. You can just guarantee it, and they'll somehow manage to fluke their way into top 4 after what's been a terrible season. Man United need to drop 7 points in their remaining games, while Newcastle have to drop 10. If Liverpool were to win every single game, then they would qualify for top 4. They're somehow going to manage to do it. They did it 2 years ago when they were absolutely terrible and somehow managed to finish 4th. They're going to win every single game for the rest of the season. United will drop some points and Liverpool will end up coming 4th. And this game will help as they beat Brentford 3-1 thanks to 2 from Cody Gakpo and 1 from Mo Salah. Newcastle versus Arsenal. Let's all admit it, Arsenal have slipped up. The title race is almost definitely over, but if Manchester City do slip, Arsenal have to win every single game for the rest of the season, and this is probably their most difficult game left to go. St James's Park, an informed Newcastle, it's always going to be difficult, but Arsenal have picked up a good result versus Chelsea though. Realistically, Chelsea get battered everywhere they go, so is it really that impressive beating this Chelsea side? I fancy Arsenal to be up for the fight, and I also said Liverpool will somehow manage to fluke top 4, so this is going to help them as Arsenal win this game 2-0 thanks to a goal from Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka, just about keeping their title hopes alive. West Ham versus Man United. West Ham have caused the big team some problems recently. They got a draw off Arsenal, had a good first half performance versus Manchester City, but very rarely teams win at the Etihad, and they almost got something out of Liverpool. So is today going to be the day for West Ham as they play a Manchester United side that isn't in the best goal scoring form, and away from home they've conceded most of their goals. They've also just recently lost to Brighton after a poor performance where Brighton didn't take their chances. So is this going to be the game where West Ham finally nab a win off one of the big teams? And they do need it because they still kind of are in the relegation battle. And I think it is going to be that game, as Man United are going to lose this game 1-0 thanks to a goal from Lucas Paqueta. Fulham versus Leicester. I look at this fixture and think, why is it kicking off at 3 o'clock on a Monday? What a strange time to have a game. This is the first time I've ever seen this happen in all my years of watching football. I'll get the game on my phone, put it in my pencil case, and watch the game during religion as I'll be in school. That's what I used to do in the World Cup, and I just want to bring those vibes back. God, I miss it. Jamie Vardy will score in this game, but it won't be enough for Leicester as Fulham win this game 3-1 to put Leicester under even more pressure than they already are. Brighton versus Everton, and this game is kicking off at 5:30 on a Monday. Again, what is with these strange kickoff times? I think games are being pushed back due to the fact there's something going on with the king in England. I don't really follow that stuff because me personally not a fan of incest. I've spoken enough about Everton in a recent video. I may make sure to go check that out, but Brighton are flying high, and if they win every game for the rest of the season they will qualify for top 4. They probably won't win every game considering they're facing both Arsenal and Manchester City, but they will win this game 2-0 thanks to goals from McAllister and Caicedo. Nottingham Forest versus Southampton. Southampton are bottom of the Premier League and are comfortably there, and looks like they will be staying there. They keep throwing away leads. They were up against Newcastle and they ended up bottling it. But sadly, I said Southampton would stay in the Premier League, and I have to die in that trend. So they're going to make a late comeback in the last 4 games of the season and somehow manage to pull off the great escape. It's basically guaranteed that Southampton will go down, but why not back them? I have to die on this train at this stage. So Southampton are going to win this game 1-0 thanks to a free kick from who else but James Ward-Prowse. So those were my Premier League predictions for this game. Let me know what you thought of them in the comments, and as always, leave me your Premier League predictions in the comments. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.